Literature and drama. What were some of the common themes in post-war literature? After the war, many people were filled with anxiety and fear, so one of the themes many writers wrote novels about was war. An example of one of these novels was From Here to Eternity, which was wrote by James Jones in 951. The story was about life in Hawaii before the Pearl Harbor attack. The story follows several members of G Company. Another common theme was the post-war America and how its focus on materialism rather than on the ending war and its many tragedies was a problem. The focus on problems in the post-war America were connected to the last theme, which was the writer's own psychological problems in the new post-war America. And the second question is, to many of the American writers, which was the most important, political problems or their own psychological problems living in a new society? What filled most writers in the 50s were not so much the political problems as their own psychological problems. Writers tried to find answers to the old question, who am I? But they had a different approach on the question, depending on where they came from. You can divide the writers into roughly four groups. The first group was writers from the South. Writers from the South focused on the common theme search of the self, but with a darker twist than any other type of writer, focusing on isolation and the feelings behind it. They developed their own Southern Gothic style. The novel The Heart is a Lonely Hunter by Carson McCullers is a good example of this dark style. The next group was the Jewish American writers. The Jewish American writers looked at psychological but also spiritual problems in the mid-century, but instead of focusing on the dark side like the writers from the South, they focused on the humor and self-criticism and irony, which was a new way to write. The next group was the Beat generation. The Beat generation focused more on the performance of their poetry, which often had strong feelings about what the writer felt mattered. The poetry was performed in coffee houses with jazz being played in the background. The last group was the Black writers. The Black writers made a huge step in the 50s. Before this time, there wasn't many Black writers in the USA. But many writers made classics in the 50s and up to today. They focused on problems in the society seen from a black person's point of view. They felt as a victim of the white man.
Which school of artists can J.D. Salinger be pleased with? J.D. Salinger was a typical 50s writer, almost of the angry young men school, a type of genre inside of literature which Salinger started. He wrote a roman with a rebellious character in the American society. This genre was repeated many times. The two most famous dramatists in this era were Tennessee Williams and Arthur Miller. What were some of the themes and ideas from their plays? Tennessee Williams took the alienation of a modern man as a basic theme, the isolated individual who does not belong to any group. From his first to his last plays, Williams seems to see life as a game, which cannot be won. Arthur Miller's plays are rather similar to the plays of Henrik Ibsen, especially his first play, All My Sons. Little by little, false ideas of reality are erased and the underlying truth comes out.